Hello everyone and welcome. This is Faizullah Musleh and today we are going to talk about difference between clause and phrase. What's a clause, what's a phrase, and what's the difference between them. Now, previously we studied both of them, clause and phrase. But today we are going to talk about the differences that they have. Now, first we will talk about the definition of both of them and then we will make examples. Now, some of the things in their definition are the same. For example, a group of words. Now, clauses are a group of words, also phrases are a group of words. Now, for a phrase and clause, they have this rule or this facility, both of them. The second one is subject-verb combination. Now, a clause has subject-verb combination, but a phrase do not. Subject-verb combination is only in clause. Phrase does not have subject-verb combination. It means in phrase there could be a subject in the phrase, but subject plus verb is never inside a phrase. So the second quality only belongs to clause and has a complete meaning. Has a complete meaning. Now a clause can have a complete meaning, okay? It has, but a phrase cannot have. It means phrase does not have a complete meaning if used alone. Now if you use a phrase alone, it has not a complete meaning, but a clause can have a complete meaning if it is an independent clause. But if it is dependent clause, now it's dependent on another clause to give a complete meaning. And this is all about clause. And one more thing about phrase is that a phrase has a complete meaning if used in a sentence. If it is used inside a sentence, it has a complete meaning, but if it is used alone, it has no meaning. Now, this is all the definition difference between clause and phrase. Both of them are group of words. Clause has subject-verb combination, but phrase does not have subject-verb combination. Clause can have a complete meaning alone, but no type of phrase or any type of phrase cannot have a complete meaning. But when it comes to clause, independent clauses always they have complete meaning. And one thing about phrase, if it is used in a sentence, it has a complete meaning, but if you use it alone, it has no complete meaning. So let's clarify them with more examples. Now a phrase can be like this: my new car. My new car. Now it's a phrase, it's a group of words. There is no subject and verb combination, and if you use it alone, my new car, so you'll understand there's a new car, but not a complete meaning. So what happened with your new car? My new car. And if you use it in a sentence, it will give a complete meaning. Like, see, if I say this is my new car, this is my new car. Now it has a complete meaning because there is subject and verb, and also it is a part of sentence. Now it has a complete meaning. Or another phrase, very hard. Very hard. What's very hard? We don't know, but it is a phrase. For example, if I say English is very hard. English is very hard to learn. Now, here, this is, English is very hard. Adjective phrase. Why? Because there is adjective hard, and when we say very hard, together they become adjective phrase. And what's adjective phrase? We already studied it. And types of phrase. I will link it in description. You can see, you can go there and watch it. And another example for phrase is extremely well. Now, extremely well. So what will you understand from extremely well? Extremely well. Nothing. If I say, I feel extremely well, it means I'm very healthy. I feel extremely well. Now here it gets a complete meaning. But without that, if we use it alone, it has no complete meaning. And let's talk about clauses now. Now, we already know that clause has two types. We studied it in definition or in the video which was about clause. And I will link this one too. Clause has two types. You know it. Clause has two types, which is dependent and independent. Now, dependent and independent clauses. Dependent clause is a clause which needs another clause to give a complete meaning. But independent clause, it's a group of words having subject-verb combination in it, has a complete meaning by itself. A simple sentence is a clause. Like if I say, he is a pilot. He's a pilot. It's a clause. It's a complete. It has a complete meaning. It has a subject and verb in it. Or if I say, she writes a book. She writes a book. It has a complete meaning. But independent clause, it is a group of words. It has subject-verb combination, but it has not a complete meaning. It needs another clause. For example, if I say, which is black. Which is black. So what do you think of it? Which is black? What is black? Now, if I bring another clause with this, I like for example, the car which is black. I like the car which is black. Now this is one clause and this is another one. This is which is black. This is independent clause, and this is dependent. This is dependent clause, and this is independent clause. Why? Because if I say I like the car, it has a complete meaning. But if I say which is black, now it gives it gives more information about this. Or if I make another example for this, when you go to school, so what will happen when I go to school? When you go to school, now it is a dependent clause. It is dependent on other clause to give a complete meaning. Without that, it has not a complete meaning. Although it has subject and verb, but it has not a complete meaning. And when we say when you go to school, then if I say you will learn knowledge, you will learn knowledge. If you go to school, you will learn knowledge. Now it has a complete meaning because we added an independent clause. Okay, independent. It's not dependent on anything. You will learn knowledge. It has a complete meaning. But when it comes with this one, it completes the meaning of this clause too. When you go to school, you will learn knowledge. That's the examples, and this is all the differences with phrase and clause. Now we know that clause is a group of words. Phrase is also. Subject verb combination only belongs to clause. It's not for phrase. Phrase has not a subject verb combination and has a complete meaning. It also belongs to uh, independent clause. It means it belongs to clause, so in one type. And this part, independent clause, it can have complete meaning with dependent clause can have complete meaning with independent one. But if we gather two phrases, now still we cannot have a complete meaning. But if we gather or put two clauses, one dependent, one independent, we can get a complete meaning. And a phrase has no complete meaning if you use it alone. If you use it in a sentence, it has a complete meaning. These are the examples, and I hope you learned something. I hope you learned the difference between phrase and clause. And if you liked this video, please share it with your friends so that they can learn it. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you are new here. Thank you. Have a nice day.